Big up, Ari, and cheers for calling in, mate. Nice to see you.
It's so nice to see you guys as well. It's such a great day. What a phenomenal morning. What a phenomenal morning. And honestly, it should have been more. It should have been more, because I think if we get that first goal that we absolutely should have got earlier, it could have been like even more than 4. Because we kind of said this. That first goal is going to be what makes them crumple, and if they crumpled in the first half like that, it'd be 5-0, 6-0. But I'll take 3. I'll take 3. It's okay.
How do you assess the performance though? Because it's a weird game to kind of assess, because first half was a bit of a struggle. And then in the second half, it's kind of like the game was done within a minute. A red card and 2-0. It's kind of the game's done.
I don't really agree that the first half was a struggle. I think the first 10 minutes was really the struggle, maybe even for 15-ish. But I was very positive about the game after the first 10 minutes, because they did look pretty dangerous in a little bit with Fernandez. I think he looked really bright in the beginning. Somerville had some really good moments. Bowen, I know he had a couple looks at the goal, but I think after the first little flurry,
we would.
I know he's crazy. Is he crazy?
Actually, I feel like when Spence really started upping his game. Can you guys hear me still?
So I know your picture's just frozen.
Yeah, picture's frozen, and then
I can hear you. We can hear you, but your picture's frozen.
You guys can hear me, right?
Oh, okay. You're back. You're back.
All right. That's fine, I guess. All right, lovely. So I was gonna say, I think Spence really kind of picked it up, and then when he did that, the entire West Ham attack was just completely gone. And then every now and again, Van Dijk would have to sweep in. And I think the whole performance from the first half to the second, at that point, it was just all Tottenham. And then we scored that goal, obviously, and then they got disallowed for no reason. And then second half we come in and take it. And I know some people are saying, oh, we didn't really progress the ball well in open play, and I think it's just kind of what the game requires. I think that's kind of what Brian was talking about. We are so multifaceted right now under Thomas Frank that this game, right? I think part of the reason that we haven't been able to get a result at West Ham is because in a game this cagey, we haven't been able to convert those set pieces. I don't think it's a case of we're only good at set pieces. I think now we have that in our locker, and we didn't before. But in a game like this, where it's going to be so physical, so cagey, so spicy, we're going to need to kind of have these set plays where it's like a football game. So I think it's a positive. And against a team like Burnley, we didn't score a single set piece. We dismantled them 3-0. So I think it's just what the game calls for. I'm not saying that we could have not – we can't be better in open play. I do think we progressed the ball very well, and I think that's why we ended up getting 11 corners. Like as you were mentioning, how many more corners? We got 11 corners. How many more do you want? So
good point, Josh. Are you saying we should have got more?
No, no, but I'm just saying the way we progress the ball. And I'm one of those kind of naysayers. We can only do it through Romero. Doing hero balls. Neither of our midfielders.
I mean, is that really how many times did Spence and Bergvall overlap? I don't really agree with you at all there. And Simmons as well.
Well, how many times did our midfielders make a pass through a progressive pass, as in Sarr and Paulinho? That's what I'm talking about.
But that wasn't the game plan. If it was the game plan, then we wouldn't have played that midfield. You can say that,
and that's
but
fine.
That wasn't
that's
what we were
fine,
trying to
and
do,
that's
right?
why I said I'm happy with it. But I'm just saying, I want to be able to have that in our locker going forward as well. That's all I'm saying.
I think we do have it in our locker. I think again, given the circumstances this season, we haven't been able to really see it because Simmons just came in, and we don't have Madison, we don't have Kulusevski, and I think given everything, to be able to approach this game the way we did and dismantle them the way we did is phenomenal. We could have scored several open play goals. I mean, probably most of our chances of play came when it was already 3-0 and they had 10 men. So I get that part of it, but I have no worries about this team at the moment. And I think it's only going to get better. I think the fact that it's only 4 games into the Frank era, he said it's going to take months and months to really progress. I think we look really good, man. I think to pick apart anything. I'm not calling you out. I think just to say anything negative about this game is just. You're looking for it. I think 3-0 away at West Ham
for a reason.
in an atmosphere like this, in a game like this where we've struggled we haven't won in 5 years, and to go do that, completely tear them apart. I think that's what can you say besides wow.
Yeah, I totally agree that this is the 4th game.
Exactly. It's hard brilliant. To it's true, and I've seen people. Tacticos on Twitter, and they've been analysing our performances and stuff. They're saying our pressing's not there and this and that. It's well, they're saying like our pressing's not coordinated and these kind of things. I'm like, well, it's only the fourth game, you know. You've got to give him a chance to really get his tactics ingrained into this team. Ariane, tell me about first impressions of Xavi Simons.
I was very happy. I told you guys that I had a sneaky feeling you put him on the left.
That was you who said it. Yeah, I was wondering. I was trying to remember who said it. Yeah.
And I think part of it is because like what A, the game called for, and B, like he is kind of that maverick player where you putting someone in the 10, you're giving him a lot of responsibility. They're kind of the identity of the team, they're the face of the team, and Simmons just came in. I think it'd be kind of a lot to ask of a player to put him in there without a preseason. And we were pretty lucky, I would say, that Wan-Bissaka was injured for this game, and he had Kyle Walker-Peters to run out, who actually did a pretty good job. But Simmons did very well. I think people were kind of calling for him to go in, and I know he drifts in kind of inwards because that's his instinct. But the fact that we had that outlet on the left, I think that's exactly the thing we were missing against Bournemouth, where they had nothing to worry about with Brennan Johnson on that side. But this time with Simmons, they have. Then it'll stretch that back line, and we saw that. So I think him down left was actually the right call, and Bergvall in the middle being given the freedom. I think he didn't disappoint at all. So it's not like we missed anything from that position either. So I think I think Frank absolutely nailed it in here, and there's more to see from Simmons. But getting an assist on debut, albeit from a set piece, out of position, I think. In a game like this, London Derby, heated London Derby, your first game in the Premier League, he didn't look scared, he didn't look out of place, he didn't look like he was gonna have any trouble adapting to the Premier League. I didn't see many negatives. He maybe could have made a better impact, but he was trying things. He was doing a lot of things that we've seen players do on debut. Maybe they're scared, they're in the shell, they need time. As opposed to someone like Matthijs Tel, who's not that much younger than him. There's levels, and I think he really, really showed us some positives.
Yeah, 100%. And I obviously got an assist as well, didn't he? On which is a brilliant start for him. Talk to me about Bergvall, because I feel like Bergvall, for a lot of discussions this season, seems to be a bit of the forgotten man when it comes to how we talk about this team and how we should be playing and where it could go. Because every time I see people talk about our midfield, no one seems to remember how good of a player Bergvall is. And so it was a nice, timely reminder, wasn't it, of what quality we got there.
Yeah, I think because we just have so many, we have an embarrassment of riches in midfield. We really do. We have Palhinha, Bentancur, Sarr, Bergvall, and even though they're injured, Madison, Kulusevski, Simmons, we've got
Gray didn't make the squad today.
We've got a very, very strong midfield. That should not go under us. And the fact that Bergvall, he goes underappreciated. Everybody in the squad's getting underappreciated. Bentancur, in pretty much every other, 17 of the Premier League teams, I think he's a key player or a very important part of the squad. And he didn't get any minutes today. And I'm not saying he's not an important part of the squad in this team either. I'm saying generally he's a very high quality player, and he gets no minutes today. And that's not something we're used to at Tottenham. These players we have our first 11, and then we have our bench that is normally just riddled with, fringe players and players who wouldn't even get any time at any other big club. But that's changing at Tottenham, and so many of our midfield. And Bergvall today kind of shows how old is he again? 19, younger than me. And he's unbelievable. A goal and an assist, an unbelievable goal.
Insane.
Little bit of unbelievable assist, but still a very good performance. I mean, there was that one moment in midfield where he put some West Ham player on the ground. In this turn, a very tight space. I don't know who it was that he just put on the ground, but you were saying, as a player, sometimes the players have a responsibility to just open up the game, and I think every time Bergvall has the ball, just the way he turns his body or finds some kind of way to just change the picture and see a side of the field that he has no right to even be looking at, that gave us so much today, because West Ham, that's how we were able to progress the ball so well, because every time we gave it to him, we were able to open him or Kudus. I think Kudus also was fantastic today. Every time they got the ball, they'd just be able to switch it to the other side, run into the space, and then we get something to get a corner or a set piece or a foul. And I think, this guy is unbelievable. I think he's definitely going to be in for another young player this season.
And talking about Kudus, how do you feel he dealt with the hostile reception he got?
I think he played worse when it went away. I think as soon as the West Ham fans started leaving the stadium, I think maybe he started dipping a little. If anything, it didn't affect him negatively at all. And you could see he wanted that goal. I think if anything, he wanted the goal to bring the hostility back. Yeah. He was phenomenal. And I kind of want to mention a different player that no one will ever. I think not like he had a stellar standout performance today, but I just want to shout out this player because of how little we actually have to talk about him, and it's Vicario. I think Vicario needs, just because of maybe what happened early on with the set pieces, and I know people were questioning him on the corners. To have a keeper like Vicario, like, I have no worries about Vicario, and I just want to like highlight that because I love this guy. People don't talk about. I think people don't talk about him enough, and I think people don't realize how amazing it is to have a keeper you don't need to talk about.
Did you see that?
This guy,
you know,
He nearly fumbled it. He nearly fumbled it. Yeah.
Fumbled into his hands.
That was a
And I'm
close
just
call.
thinking, Ariadne's like, I have no worries about this guy.
No, I don't, because I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the Bowen shot where it kind
Yeah.
of hit him in the
Yeah,
face.
when
But
he just hit it into his own
bubbled.
face.
But like, here's the thing: another keeper lets that go in. Like, it looks ugly, but like so many other keepers, not so many, but like Onana, for example. I know I'm using the worst of the worst here as an example, but like that's exactly the kind of goal that people will be talking about. Oh my god, I can't believe it let that go in. Like, and Lloris would let that. How many times have we seen a stupid goal from Lloris like that? So
true.
it looks ugly, and maybe he should be doing better. But this guy, having him in goal, gives me such, in terms of shot stopping alone, and I think even on the ball today was fantastic. But just having a keeper like that you don't need to talk about, you don't need to worry about. He's not making headlines, and the fact that he's a successor to our captain and a World Cup winner, and we don't have any. I just want to highlight how much I appreciate this guy as well, because I think it's important to highlight that this guy is a great.
Did you just say he's a captain and a World Cup winner?
No, I'm saying to come after Lloris, who was our captain and a World Cup.
Okay, sorry, that really, I was thinking of you switched him with Romero.
No.
Just a quick one on Frank. You know, after what was a horrible display against Bournemouth, he said before the game he's watched it back and you know, he's learned stuff from the game. And do you think today was evidence of lessons learned from that game?
I don't think there could be any more evidence from lessons learned from that game. I think you have probably a more difficult but similar kind of game, similar kind of team, even though West Ham have obviously been way worse than Bournemouth, but in terms of stature of the game, similar. And completely just takes the accountability, and we see a completely different. Nobody expected that lineup, and it was perfect. I mean, what else can you say? This guy keeps everybody on their toes, drops a lineup none of us expected to see, dismantles West Ham, first away win in the London Stadium in 5 years. What else? What else do you need?
All right, Ariane, appreciate you calling, mate. Thanks for giving your opinion on. And yeah, look, you said it was going to be that easy, so maybe we shouldn't be so shocked.
Absolutely, I wasn't shocked. That is exactly as I expected. And as always, come on, you Spurs!